Kendall Jenner deleted her Instagram account. How upset are you about that?
I'm not upset at all.
Hey, thanks for joining us for Happy Hour. I'm Nick Boris, and this is Tim Hindes. And Siri calls you Tim
Hindes.
Hindes, yeah, Tim Hindes.
From your car?
Yeah, yeah. But today we're going to talk to you about a couple of things. We're talking about what's going on Facebook, fake news sites. We'll talk a little Trump, Hillary, not pro either one or the other, but how it has to do with marketing. We're going to talk a little bit about leadership and some terrible customer service experiences that I've had personally, and Tim's going to talk about how we rectify that through social media.
Yeah.
So, I have, I wanted to start, as always, with our beer that we're drinking. Why don't you go first?
I have an AleSmith Brewing Company IPA. This is from San Diego, California.
Nice.
Very tasty.
San Diego in the house?
I haven't had it before, so I like the big IPA. It tells you exactly what it is up front.
There's no
hidden agenda.
Right.
It's just
nice. All right, in your face. Speaking of in your face, I got the Sam Adams Rebel IPA, and I had it in the past. I do like it. It's not so strong that it's something you can drink and doesn't overpower you or you don't get tired of it. So it's kind of a, I don't know if it's a light IPA. It's just easier to handle, normally. But I actually already picked it, and then I really liked it because I'm rebelling. I'm rebelling today. I'm rebelling against awful customer service, and I'm rebelling against awful IT management companies.
Cheers.
So we'll talk about that going forward here. I'm gonna get drone certified to do commercial video.
I saw the drone sitting in the other room. That's awesome.
Yeah, I called the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics to schedule my test. I've already been studying for it. I'm going to schedule the test. They haven't called me back yet. Talk about customer service here in a minute, but so we'll hopefully get that scheduled in the next couple of weeks.
What's the process for that?
So you have to take an airman or like a basic knowledge test, of weather conditions and different things that impact how the drone flies and all of that. So then once you pass that test, you have to then apply for certification through the FAA.
Okay.
And it's it used to be cumbersome, and they like a year ago it was a much bigger deal. Now they've streamlined it a little bit. You pay like $150 for the test, and then after that you just get certified, and that's it.
Well, at what level do you have to do that? Because I know some people just have like model airplanes.
If you're recreational, you don't have to do it at all.
Okay.
You just have to register it. So yeah, if you're recreational, you just have to register it, and then if it crashes into something, I'm sure they'll come after you. But if you're commercial, you can't do any commercial work without being registered.
Okay.
So it's a big deal for a lot of realtors were trying to do it to go around a house, or a construction company or a roofing company would go up above a house to inspect a roof or whatever. They were using them to survey land or provide security for oil wells and gas wells. But all of that had to stop as soon as they came out with this, and a lot of people didn't stop. So a lot of people are still doing videos, and I don't know how aggressive they are about trying to catch people, but I'm not one. Right. I'm not going to risk a fine for something stupid if I can just study.
What about nonprofits? Where do nonprofits fall into that? Do you know?
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
So it would be interesting to know what that is.
That would be.
At least from my perspective.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where that falls.
Yeah, and even if if I own it, but I'm doing work on behalf of a nonprofit,
I think if you own it, you might have to be certified.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know I wanted to do it for a landscaper for his website. I wanted to do it for a couple people, but at the time it was just way too cumbersome and costly.
Yeah.
Now it looks a lot more streamlined, so we're going to go for it. Yeah.
Good.
It'll be fun at the very least. And even if I only use it a couple of times,
I'm intrigued, but I'm also terrified by it, I'll be honest, because I just, these things get so expensive, and then you're flying them in the air, and you get a wind gust, and you're losing control. I see all these horror stories. I had someone that lost it for a period of time up on a roof, and they couldn't find it, so they had to use a second drone to try to find it. And they actually took photos, and they saw this white dot because it was a smaller one, and that just, I don't know.
So we're going to talk real quick about bad customer service experiences, and this is very very big for me because we try to do everything we can to provide really good customer service, especially with the help desk. And when people call in, you want them to want to continue to call. You don't want to make it cumbersome for them, right? So I've had a string of, like, in the past 2 days, a string of bad experiences. One of them, I was trying to buy a bunk bed for my kids, right? But I needed it by this weekend because we have a guest coming into town, and I needed the extra bed. So I said, look, I'll buy it right now if as long as it'll be here by Friday. She's like, yeah, there shouldn't be a problem. We'll get it on the truck, not a big deal. It's in stock, whatever. So she had to build the invoice, so I couldn't stay to pay for it. She said to call back with my credit card number. Not a problem. So I call back, and the customer service person, I said, I got to pay for this. This is the order number, my phone number, whatever I had to give her. She's like, okay, well, that'll be in November 23rd. Well, I'm like, well, no, the reason I'm buying it is for this weekend. I was told it would be here this weekend. She's like, nope, looks like it's not going to be on the truck until next week. And it was very matter of fact, like tough crap, right?
Right.
So I'm like, well, then I guess I'm going to have to cancel the order. She's like, okay, then I'll cancel it for you. Like, it wasn't like, I'm sorry. There was nothing.
Let me look into it. Let me talk to the original person.
Yeah, right? It was just like, F you, I'll see you later. I was like, man, I'll tell you what. I know I have to buy bedroom furniture for myself. Mm-hmm. I know I have to furnish my basement, and I'm going to need new living room furniture. Do you think for a second I'm going to go back to that store?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I mean, unless there's some change of heart that I have. It's.
It was a store locally?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, starts with a V.
Oh, okay.
The second word starts with a C.
I gotcha.
So, I mean...
That's not a local.
It wasn't a high end. Yeah. It wasn't a high end store, but still, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's not appropriate.
No, it was. And I don't know if they talked about it like, oh, he's going to be mad if it's not in, and then they're like, yeah, well, screw him. Like whatever the conversation was, it wasn't like, man, I'm really sorry. Like, let me see if I can, whatever. It was just bad. Like, even if they said, look, you can go to the warehouse and pick it up, I probably would have done that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever. And the way I'm doing it now, especially with like our Facebook advertising that we do, is I tell people how to do it. Mm-hmm. I told a guy last night, I'm like, look, it's a new website. I know you're not bringing in a ton of revenue right now, and that based on the conversation we were having. It's like, look, do this couple of things. Once you're tired of doing it yourself, then you can bring me on. Mm-hmm. Or if you want me to do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. But do all this, do what you can. Once you start, feeling like your time is better spent somewhere else, we can take it over. We'll do a better job. But in the meantime, a lot of people, it has to be worth the cost, right? So that's been pretty much the tactic I've been taking.
I had a meeting with an event planner this morning, and something that they told me, and I was very happy about this, that they're looking to do is, with event planning, you negotiate a contract with a facility, hotel typically, and that contract is, based on, do you have room nights, your food and beverage, everything that's associated with the meeting. And then the event planner works to get that down as low as it possibly can be, because they know the space, they know where the hotel can give a little, mm-hmm. microphones and and lighting and whatever, there's give and take there. So they work on that and they get it down to a price. Well, their clients were just seeing that final price. They weren't seeing the initial starting point. So that value that they've been working on and working very hard to get down, that contract, the end user never sees. So, they're going to start showing the starting point and the ending point so that they can say, look, we've saved you, thousands of dollars. Right.
It's a good...
It shows the value up front. It allows them to educate their clients on the value that they provide. And if you can do that, then, you're... who wouldn't want to sign with you?
Right. Yeah. And it's harder for us on the IT side of things, and I'll get into that for a minute. But with the websites and with Facebook advertising, marketing, whatever, people have some knowledge of it and they can promote themselves to a point. It's just that after a while it becomes cumbersome, and sometimes you really just want to take it to the next level, or you just genuinely need to spend your time somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So the first tip I give anybody anymore is install your Google Analytics code on your website and put the Facebook pixel on there.
Yeah.
We've been working pretty closely with Facebook over the past couple of months. like their advertising team. And I mean, just the amount of data that they grab using that Facebook pixel is unreal. So if you, and this is my tip to anybody that has a website, if you own a website, get your Facebook pixel from your business page and embed it into your website and just start gathering that information, because even if you don't advertise now, gather the information, the demographic, the user information, so that 5 years from now, when you're big and you can spend whatever you need to spend a month to advertise properly, you have that base built up and you can market to the people that want to come back to your site, or that you want to come back to your site. It's amazing. It is simply amazing what they can do with that information. And it really drives down your cost in the end, because you're paying, you know, $1 per click or 50 cents per click compared to, you know, $3 or $6, you know, whatever you might be starting off with wherever you were.
Right.
It's awesome. So install your Facebook pixel on your website. Just do it now. Don't just do it and then worry about doing anything else later.
Nick's tip of the week.
My tip of the week: install your Facebook pixel. It's my tip of the month. So yeah. On the IT side, it's harder because it's much more complex. So I can tell people, and we always do, tell people check your backups, you know, have honest conversations with your vendor. But here's my problem. IT vendors do not have honest conversations. And this is where I'm rebelling, because it's BS what IT vendors lie about to their clients. They're not doing half of the things they say they're doing, and then they say they're doing, and we talk about price, they're doing it at 2/3 of what we charge people, and they're saying they're doing the same thing. I know the time and effort we put into it. We can't be at 2/3. I can't imagine having a third more clients at what we're making right now. And I'm interviewing people again to hire a technician, and when people say to me, I'm overworked, I'm stressed, we're not doing what we say we're doing, I had somebody tell me that they're not paying for the licensing for the backup software for their clients. So they're not getting backups done. They're not doing a basic task that needs to get done, or every one of their clients, any one of their clients could lose every bit of data on their network for a virus or whatever happens. But the client believes it's all happening.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, the average person doesn't know anything about any of that.
Right,
you know,
and they're just trusting.
And boxes, you know.
Right, and they're just trusting. And they should be able to trust, but they're not. Because, man, I'm going to say 80% of the people, the vendors out there, doing managed IT services are not doing it.
I know some of them, and I know that they're not honest.
I do too. Yeah, I know, they're awful. It makes me, they're awful, awful, awful vendors.
And people.
And people. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Billing for things because they can make a problem.
Yep.
It's awful stories that I hear, and then they compare themselves to us like they're actually doing it. And I don't know how to combat that other than talking about it right now. I don't know how you combat that. I'm not going to stand in somebody's office and say, well, he's lying to you.
I think in today's state, I think the right thing is to protest and then burn effigies of them. And, you know, I think that's...
Is that it?
Wow, that's
lay down in the street and eat pizza?
That's what I say, yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. Oh, man, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's terrible, but
yeah,
it's business. I mean, and I think, you know, one of the things that I pride myself on, and I have throughout my career, is just being honest and upfront.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, if anyone wants to call me on anything, by all means, call me on it, and I'll have a conversation with you about it, because I guarantee I was attempting to act as ethically as I possibly can in every situation. And you know, I don't know how anyone can succeed by not doing that. And I think that there's going to be a significant shift. I mean, you see the things with the banks, you see the things with all these big name companies where, you know, people are relying on ethical business practices in order to do business with an organization or a company. And I think that's where it's shifting towards the good guy. You know, for sure.
I hope so, and I've really been hammering this home lately, and what I've been reading also to support it. I hope so. I hope I'm not being naive to think that doubling down on being ethical is not just being naive. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not being stupid.
Right.
You're like, that's just me. Like, I have those thoughts where, am I just a moron that, that me just doing it the right way is gonna continue to grow my business and
Well, we've talked about it, like even in certain ways, like your company and my company are somewhat competitors in certain instances, but we've also collaborated. And there's never been a point where I've questioned anything from your perspective, and I would hope the same from your perspective of me. And it's just, let's be honest with it. I mean, that's not, I don't know, the veil is getting thinner, and I think that, people will see through that.
Well, and I'm hoping that, in the past 10 years, the internet's been used to create propaganda and false and fake news, which we'll get to. I'm hoping that as it progresses, people become more savvy with it and can do more research and find more honest information. And maybe that helps in that process.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you're an IT vendor right now and you're lying to your customer, man, I'm coming for you. Honest to God, I hate it.
I'll pay for that fight. The customer service story. So, back whenever we had Snowmageddon, I had just bought my house. I think I was a year and a half, 2 years in. I had done a ton of work on it, and I noticed some water in the basement. And I trace it back. I think it was right underneath my refrigerator. I thought my refrigerator was leaking. Trace it back. Oh no, my walls are wet. My carpets are wet. And I trace it all the way up to a leak in the roof. It was an ice dam. So the water had nowhere to go because ice in the gutter, backed up underneath the shingles, came all the way through, and I didn't notice it until it was in the basement. So I had my insurance company, which is the insurance company that Peyton Manning is spokesman for, and it took some time.
Were they on your side?
Not at first. They earned it. So first of all, if you want to have your work certified and insured by their blue ribbon whatever, they have to assign a contractor. So for some reason,
pick your own.
like you can't pick your own, which I was okay with. That's fine. But they assigned me a contractor who was coming from essentially almost Katanning down to South Park, which made zero sense to me. So they were paying this contractor to travel probably during rush hour, morning and at night, probably 2 hours to come down to me. So by that time. So anyway, flash forward, a contractor came, didn't show up for a period of time. I tried calling my contact, and the contact had gone on maternity leave. Didn't tell me. I tried leaving a voicemail with her. Her voicemail's full, of course.
Nobody's checking it.
But she did leave the office phone number. Well, I called the main office phone number. That's full. So I can't get in contact. My contractor's not showing up. I can't get in contact with my contact, my adjuster. Everything is falling apart. I mean, I'm living in chaos. So they had to rip out the entire inside back wall of my house. So my kitchen was torn apart. My refrigerator was in my foyer. I was eating microwave meals out of my living room. I had pathways through my house of stuff, all my stuff that I had to move away.
Probably looked like a hoarder.
It was. I did. Oh, absolutely, I did. It was horrible. I was living in these horrible conditions. So finally, I tweeted nationwide, and I said, "Hey, I'm having this issue. I can't get in contact with anyone. Can you help me?" That was probably like at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. By 1:30, 2 o'clock, I had the cell phone number of the National Director of Client Services.
Wow. Yeah,
and she said, if you call me, she fixed it. She said, call me if you ever have any issues on my cell phone anytime, and I will make sure that they're taken care of. So it was a horror story that used social media to actually have something positive happen.
And I know that's worked for some people with other companies also. That's a good story and an example of a company that's paying attention. I think I've tried AT&T Wireless through social media, and they completely disregarded because it was disregarded mainly because I was a voice among many. I mean, it was just there were so many people complaining about it, whatever's going on.
Right.
You know, when there's only one or two people complaining, it can be addressed.
Yeah.
And it's probably an aberration.
Right.
Where with me, it was just common, so they don't pay attention to it.
Well, and you hit it on the head too. You have to have someone listening. You know, you have to have a team listening that is willing to take responsibility for it,
and they probably have,
and move it forward.
And they have a process to address
protocol.
it.
Right. And I think that I was definitely an extreme case, ending up with the cell phone number of the national director, but it was still solved by their social media team, and that was a number of years ago. So I mean that was pretty good.
So it was early on in social media then too. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, all things said, I mean it still took a year to accomplish, but it wasn't. Really? A great experience, but they turned it into a positive experience in the end as a result of their action. So.
Wow.
And it's a great story. It's a great social media case study that I love telling. So I think it's
a positive story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you beating up all my crappy stories. My stories going wrong.
We have to have a yin and yang.
Yeah, right. So. No, I like that. That's good. You can balance out my complaining, which we'll talk about later too.
Have you ever posted anything stupid online?
I've posted stupid things online. I've never posted that I wanted to murder anybody online.
No. What was can you say what your stupidest thing was online?
I can't. To be honest with you, I probably have friends that are going, oh, the thing you posted yesterday was really stupid. You
can't think of it, or you can't say it?
No, I actually can't think of it. I've probably posted so much stupid stuff I can't think of it. But I don't think it's anything incredibly embarrassing.
I took a sick day, and then I posted on Facebook that I was golfing.
That's stupid.
It was dumb.
Yeah,
and it was very early on. It was early on in my social media. I
think song lyrics, that would be something I'd be really embarrassed about that I did when I first joined Facebook. Man, that's stupid.
Mbop.
What?
Mbop.
Oh, no, not that bad.
Okay. I tried Mbop beer, by the way. You know they have their own beer?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I tried it because I did the Epcot Wine and Food Festival. It was actually really good beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll trust you on that one.
That's why it was in my head.
Yeah.
That's what I'll lead you to believe.
Is that why you were singing it when you came in today?
Right.
All right, so out of all of this politics garbage, and I know everybody online has seen the fake news stories. Like incredibly smart people are reposting stories that they might as well come from The Onion, right?
And I love The Onion. I do. And Clickhole, do you know Clickhole?
I don't. No, I don't know that one.
It's the same deal.
Same thing.
It's I don't know. I recognize that they are fake. I can understand that.
If it's not coming from a major news, I think there's so much backlash against the major news outlets that people think then that the real honest ones are the fake news sites.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to go with your gut, but so Facebook and Google are now both fighting against. They're taking ad revenue away from the fake sites, so they can't make any money, and they're taking, which is a process. Basically, they can't show ads on their website anymore, and they're trying to devalue them so that they don't show up on news feeds anymore now too.
Yeah, well, and that's been going on since May, at least with Facebook, according to a supposedly online resource, real online resource. But Mark Zuckerberg actually came out and said, no, we do not have an impact on the election. And now you have these groups within Facebook actually that are meeting, groups of employees that are meeting and saying, we don't necessarily agree. We think that there is a situation. So it's sort of this renegade effort that's going on within. So it'll be interesting to see, how news and media in general evolve, but also fake news and fake media, how that evolves.
I think that Zuckerberg has to say that he didn't impact the election, right? I mean, you have to say that. You can't say, the opposite.
Right.
Did it affect the election? I would say probably, to the point where it swayed who got elected. I don't know. But I'm sure that there are some people that are just diving into and not getting a balanced, not that CNN and Fox News are balanced themselves, but I think that's closer to the middle than some of the stuff I've been seeing.
Well, look, I mean, you have to consider the fact, look at the Facebook demographics. You know, Facebook demographics are trending in the area of an older population.
Yeah.
You know, the population that is new to Facebook is older population. And I'm saying older meaning 40 and above.
Yeah.
Which is who had the greatest impact on the election.
Yeah.
You know, the audience that had the greatest impact on the election. So to say that there wasn't any impact whatsoever, I mean, I hope that, and you probably hope also as a veteran, that, you know, people are voting being educated in the issues and the people that are behind those issues, or vice versa. But, you know, is someone really seeing a fake news story and then saying, oh, well, now I'm changed? I think that there was too much passion involved in this election for a fake news story or two or seven to make that big of a deal.
See, I don't disagree, but I think I would give it more credit than I believe you are.
Okay.
Because I consider myself, and I might just be a jerk for saying it, but I consider myself to be a fairly intelligent person. And I know I wasn't as educated as I should have been through the campaign process. Mm-hmm. I think I crammed at the end. And I know what I saw along the way. I guarantee you there's people out there that are significantly less intelligent than me, mm-hmm. that hear and see this sort of thing and take it as fact.
No doubt, but I still think that, and I'm not, I wouldn't say that I'm even, if either party put a candidate out there that I could get behind, like I'm not solely someone that votes based on the party.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, I just feel that people were so one way or another.
Yeah.
I didn't get a sense that there were a ton of undecided. I mean, I know that they were on the news and people showed undecided, and
yeah.
But I still think people knew.
It was pretty polarizing.
I think people knew. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not that, you know, even you can be educated and you can even cram. And I think if you cram, you know, you still have a sense of, you know, is there anything that's fake that's really going to change that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I'm not in that circle that really followed those websites, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of just hid all the stuff that popped up in my feed.
Can I say, though, I love the Joe Biden memes. Right
oh, my God, they're hilarious, and they're not on here. We didn't talk about them.
No, they're not on there, but...
Oh, if you haven't seen them, and maybe we'll try to post a couple. There are some Joe Biden, Barack Obama memes right now going on, like, you know, what's the Wi-Fi password, like that kind of stuff.
That's so funny.
Yeah, oh my God.
Perfect.
Yeah, they are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were they last week?
I know.
All right. Two things I want to talk about in the leadership and business side of things. One, just going over the book I'm reading from Simon Sinek. I love it. He narrates it himself on Audible. It's Leaders Eat Last. It's all about, you know, for me, look, I am a leader based on the fact that I own the company, right? I don't think I'm a good leader. I want to be. I think the desire to be a good leader and the desire to have a good culture at this company and you know, I think I'm good with my kids. I think I'm good that way, but, you know, I'm always trying to improve that. And I think that his concepts here are very good. He talks about how the devaluation of people within companies, how, you know, that you know, 50 years ago, how much people mattered and protecting people and being that person that, you know, you offered protection to the people that worked for you and you took care of them and you didn't treat them as if they were expendable. And then somewhere in the 80s and in the 90s, it got to be awful. Like people were just, you know, I think it was GE where Jack Welch would promote the top 15% and fire the bottom 10%. And that went on for a long time, and they were incredibly profitable doing it. But, what kind of culture and what kind of future does that give your company? It goes into the focus on stock valuations compared to what the company's actually worth, and it goes into the chemicals in your brain and what causes you to feel safe and enjoy where you are. Also, cortisol and serotonin and everything. It's incredibly interesting, but I'll probably have to listen to it twice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's so good, and there's so much information. I think it's probably a 2-time read. Yeah.
That sounds. Yeah, and that's I think why anyone that moves on, it's not because. It's, I think, rarely because you're courted to a new position. Although that's happened to me once, I think. But it's because you don't feel valued, by your superiors and leaderships. And I think that, one of the true tests that I see for that is or I used to until I, started my own company, is that, is my boss and their bosses, are they all trying to better themselves?
Yeah.
And if they're not, then, you kind of know that you're not, bettering yourself is not going to be part of their plan because they're not out.
Well, and on the other side of it, are they trying to better themselves and in turn also better you, right? Are they encouraging you to do more for yourself? Are they encouraging you to, are they showing you a way to, giving you a path? Like for advancement or for whatever your priorities are, whether it's more time at home or more money or whatever you want. Is there something that they're doing to help you along?
And you see these. I see it on LinkedIn. I think all the time. You have the conversation between the CEO and the CFO, and the CEO says, or the CFO says, "What if we invest in these people and they leave?" And then the CEO says, "What if we invest in them and they don't?" Or we don't invest in them and they don't, and they stick around and you have this dead weight.
Right.
I'm going through the process right now of hiring an intern. So it's going to be my first actual official.
I saw that on, I think it was your Facebook page, right?
Yeah, Facebook and LinkedIn, and I threw it out there here and there. Because and I'm looking for someone. I mean, ideally, I would love someone that challenges me every day.
I agree with you.
A better. A better, depending on what we're working on, better web designer, better graphic designer, better marketer, better communicator. I want that competition. I want to hire someone better than me. Because why would I? I want to work together. I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
No, go.
No, I agree with you. I've been incredibly discouraged by the results I've gotten there. So I've hired people saying, I want you to get educated. I want you to get certified. I want you to learn this. I want you and they say, yeah, I want to do that too. Okay, then great. We agree. You're hired. And then they don't.
Yeah.
They clock out at 4:59. They go home. They never think about it again. They never advance themselves. They never get the certifications we agree that they're going to get. And it's disappointing. And I mean, I've had people here that have, but I don't know how to. I guess you can lead a horse to water is kind of what you say to yourself, but how do you?
Well, that's going to be one of my interview questions. Right off the bat, how have you worked to better yourself? Not just beyond college, beyond when have you put the extra effort in?
There's an article that just I got this week. It's the Law of Attraction 101. And actually, an old client of mine, when we had our retail store, she posted this, and I really like the article. It's the Laws of Attraction, or the Law of Attraction 101. When you complain, you magnify the negative. Excuse me, let me say that again. Law of Attraction 101. When you complain, you magnify the negative. And we've talked about in the past in this happy hour that what you verbalize, you sort of make real. It becomes your reality. And this article is about that when you complain, you're solidifying that and it's becoming you. And then it attracts other people that like complaining and misery and negative. And I know I still complain. I grew up in an environment where complaining was okay. And I am weeding it out, and I know I have a visceral reaction to complaining when other people do it. So in a way, maybe it's a little hypocritical because I do complain, and I'm really trying to stop. But when I'm around complainers, I just want to run away.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be involved in it. I don't want to hear it. Like, I need to stay positive. I need to keep thinking about things that are productive. And, you know, so I vent, and I effort to do less of it. But yeah.
Well, you can vent and release, but if that's your nature, you know, don't make it your nature. You know,
right.
You know, make it.
It can't be your default mode.
Yeah. It's not the norm. It's going to be something that you do to, you know, relieve stress, or you know, some people work out, some people go get a massage or whatever, like to just decompress and you know, vent, scream, drink, whatever. Yeah. But you know, as long as that's not the norm, then you know, that's fine. I think that's healthy. You have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe maybe when you're complaining, maybe having a solution or something. There's got to be a better way to do it than just complaining about what's going on in the world, right?
Oh yeah, I agree, and you know, I think we're seeing way too much of that today. You know, there's people that are complaining that aren't really doing anything about it. You know, and one of the greatest efforts I think I've seen, at least as a viral effort, is, you know, people starting to donate to organizations like Planned Parenthood, and you know, they've seen donations increase exponentially as a result of the election, because people feel that they're not going to be funded anymore.
They have to fight for themselves.
So now people are volunteering, people are going out there and actually doing something for the causes that they believe in, because and it's out of fear.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily out of the right motives, but it's actually it's
turning something into some sort of
right.
positive.
At least you're trying to create a solution rather than just complaining about it.
Yeah.
Which I think is your point.
Yeah. Yeah. And this client that I referenced earlier, they were telling me that, you know, they made a rule that you don't come to me with a problem unless you have a solution already, like an option. Like this can't be. You can't just come to me with problems constantly. There's got to be a solution attached to it, which I think is a great. I might have to start doing that myself. I just, you know.
Well, and it goes back to my thing on collaboration. I think that, you know, you can come to me with a problem, but yeah, have something in mind, and let's talk through a solution together. You know?
Like show me that you've invested some time into it.
Okay, I can see how that's a problem. Let's move that forward, and let's not make it a problem. You know, what do you think? You know,
Yeah. That's. I think that as we hire, that might be. In fact, I think it's going into my next job post that we're going to have for a help desk person, is that, you know, being, you know, like, I might have to even ask people, give me an example of something you've done nice recently, or you know, like, or you know, like just something that, you know, like, I want to know that we're hiring good people and that they're invested in continuous improvement and putting out good vibes.
And I have ideas in my head as far as my interview, but I'll share my interview questions with you so that you can, you know, if it helps. Yeah. Because a lot of the same things that we're talking about, and I'll probably go back and watch this video, you know, to kind of refresh my memory, but you know, they're all the same values that I'm looking for, and I want to make sure that you know, those come out. So the people that I just sent messages to say, hey, schedule an interview with me, here's the dates, you know, hopefully they're watching and they can pick up on that.
Yeah.
If they're resourceful,
right.
then they will be.
I've actually wondered if anybody that's interviewed with us has gone online to look at what we've done, and they would see this stuff and actually have the answers to the quiz, you know, like.
How about this? I'm going to say if someone actually sits and watches a video of mine, you know, maybe I'll give them a keyword right now that I'll know that they've watched the video, and they can bring it up some point in the interview.
Yeah, what's the secret keyword?
We'll make it AleSmith.
Nice. All right. So they get bonus points.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least I know that they did their homework, so they can come and.
Well, all right. So speaking of which, let's wrap it up, because I got something. I got to go to a tripe dinner tonight.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever had tripe?
No.
I never have either. We'll see. There's a lot of other things being served, so. If I don't like it, or if I don't even want to taste it after seeing it.
Tripe is the lining of
a cow's stomach.
A cow's stomach, yeah.
So we will see. My wife has had it. Her mom made it, I guess, in the past. She said it's got a weird consistency. So, yeah, we'll see.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
That
yeah, I don't know.
sounds terrible.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of other good things, so I'll be okay.
I will try anything once. I mean,
I think I will too.
Food-wise, I've tried it. There's things that don't agree with me, and
I tried buffalo sweetbread at Meat and Potatoes a couple of weeks ago, which was actually better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Right now?
Weekend? Well, this weekend.
Oh, I don't know. I just got back from Mexico, so I've got mounds of leaves in my yard that I want to get before it SNOWs.
Yeah, and then you're going to get all, which is Sunday, so you better hurry.
Right. So that's probably my weekend. And, just catching up. I've kind of spent the week catching up on some things, so probably do some of that.
We get a big weekend. I got family in town. They're coming in town for John's wedding. So John that works with us,
nice.
He works at our help desk and started taking over more network admin roles recently.
It's a big wedding weekend, huh?
It's a big wedding weekend, yeah. We're excited. It's Saturday.
Did you get the bunk bed, though? You never said.
I didn't get the bunk bed.
So you just have...
I had to cancel it.
Okay.
So we had to get an inflatable mattress.
So now... Okay, so now but you have room for your guests, so they're coming in.
It's really, well, we have, my sister is sleeping in our guest room, but my little brother, who's 13, 14, he's going to sleep on a blow-up mattress in my son's room. So it's worked out, it's just not the way we wanted it to work out.
Yeah.
So we'll get a bunk bed eventually, but much to my son's disappointment, he's not going to be bunking with my younger son anytime in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he's actually really bummed out about it.
We had bunk beds growing up. I have two younger brothers, and
yeah, me too. I did too.
And it was fun.
Yeah,
I had a good time with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried we'll never get them to sleep, but we'll see.
They make great forts.
Yeah, oh, it's so much fun you could have. I had a lot of good memories of the bunk bed.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, hey, I am Nick. This is Tim Hindes and Tim Hindes, and thanks for watching us this happy hour, and we will be coming back to you next week. Oh, well, no, we won't. Next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
give thanks.
Yeah, give thanks. Watch some football. Go Steelers. And don't come back to work too fat on Monday, Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
I know I might. I'm gonna eat a lot of turkey.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Me too.
More than the pumpkin spice stuff. So.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's so good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Cool. Thank you.